First of all, I want to thank everybody for joining with us today. I think this is a very special announcement, and I am very excited about what we're trying to create here in the governor's office, but to reach out and include people all over the state of Alabama. I'm joined here today with really different groups from the legislature, two different groups here. One is our Black Caucus, and I have met with the Black Caucus. We've talked about some of the issues that deal with the African American community, and I told them that I was going to create an office for minority affairs. I think this is something that's very significant for us as a state. And I want us to be able to reach out to everyone across the state in all areas that we're going to work on through this office. There's another group, I don't know how many we have that are here with us today, but I have said that we wanted to reach out and we were going to include women in the minorities also, because there are issues that are dealing with women and employment and things of this nature that we need to work on also. We are also reaching out to all minority groups around the state, and we have a number of minority groups, and some are represented here today. Bo, thank you for coming. Bo is Laotian, and he runs a restaurant, small business here, and actually works here for us at the Capitol, but he has his own business here also, so we invited Bo to come and be with us also. You know, our state is blessed with a population that consists of a lot of racial diversity. We have African Americans, Hispanics, Caucasians, Asians, Native Americans, and so we have a very diverse population in the state of Alabama. We have a very unique history in Alabama. We've promoted and been part of civil rights movements. We've been the epicenter here in Montgomery and in the state of Alabama for the civil rights movement. Just this last year, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of so many of those things. And really, since I've been governor, we've celebrated year after year so many of the things that have taken place here in the state of Alabama dealing with civil rights. And diversity is important in everything that we do. It's important in government. And it's important in our workplace, it's important in education, it's important in basically everything that we do. And I believe that state government lacks adequate knowledge of some of the various issues affecting minorities and women. And I believe with this office, it's time that we look at that and we solve some of the problems that affect all the people of this state. Today, I will be signing the executive order setting up this particular office, and I believe that this office will be a great resource in advising me on issues affecting minorities and women in the state of Alabama. In the coming months, we will conduct community outreach throughout the state to assess and address issues facing women and minorities. This office will collaborate with business and industry representatives, the Alabama Workforce Council, higher education stakeholders, the Alabama Small Business Commission, and they will identify issues related to minorities and women. We will talk about small businesses that are owned by minorities, and we'll work to try to improve the relationship with those and with the government. They will give us recommendations on how to foster economic development opportunities for all of the people. You know, I would now like to introduce someone that I believe is perfect to fit this office. Nichelle Nix has served in several capacities in both the public and the private sector. She is a 2002 graduate of Spelman College in Atlanta. Nichelle has a master's degree in public health from Emory University, and she received her Juris Doctorate degree from the University of Alabama School of Law in 2008. Nichelle has worked as a health care fellow at the Alabama Appleseed Center for Law and Justice here in Montgomery. She has worked as the legislative counsel to former U.S. Representative Arthur Davis in Washington, and executive director. She's been the executive director for the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America in Mobile. Glad to have our parents here with us today, too. She comes to the governor's office from Maynard, Cooper, and Gale in Birmingham, where she was a member of the firm's Governmental and Regulatory Affairs Practice Group. And I'm confident that the positions that she has held and been trained through these positions will equip Nichelle to lead the newly created Office of Minority Affairs. As both an African American and as a female, Nichelle knows firsthand the issues and the opportunities for minorities and for women. And Nichelle, I appreciate so much you being willing to do this. I saw Nichelle up in Birmingham about 3 weeks ago. And I was talking to her about this office that I wanted to create. And so as we were standing there talking, I put my arm around her and I said, Nichelle, aren't you sure that you don't want to do this? And she kind of shook her head like, no, she didn't think so. But then we began to talk to her, and I'm so honored and so glad that she has become a part of this, will head up this office. Now, it's a newly created office, so we're going to be reaching out to those that are affected to give us ideas about how we should run this office. And so Nichelle's going to reach out to the black community, to our women's caucus that I have formed, by the way. And so we're going to reach out to those that are associated with this or affected by this office, and we will all work very closely with you in developing this office. I think it's a great opportunity for us. And, I think that one governor prior to me had an Office of Minority Affairs, but he wasn't a Republican governor. But we're going to reach out, as I have done always. I'm the governor of everyone. And that's how I've always looked at this. And I want everyone to be inclusive and included in Alabama and the opportunities that we want to develop and create here in the state of Alabama, so that people can become educated and can get a job and better their way of life. And so we want that opportunity for everyone. And so, Nichelle, thank you for being willing to do this. And also, and just even before Nichelle speaks, I appreciate so much Senator Smitherman being with us today, and he is going to speak. And then Representative John Knight will also speak. I have worked with both of these men for years. We have served together in the legislature, and I appreciate so much what they're doing for the state of Alabama. So, Senator Smitherman, we'll let you speak first.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. Thank you. Let's stand up and give them a standing ovation for doing this first. Let's do that first. Let's do that. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, Governor. Alabama is home to almost 5 million women, men, girls, and boys. Our population today is more diverse than ever. About 70% of our population, of course, is Caucasian, but the remaining 30% is a great mix of African Americans, Asians, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All of these people come together in their own way to help make our state great. But often the needs and concerns of our population are just as diverse as their race and culture. It is imperative that each person in this great state have opportunities, contribute, and excel in their own way while experiencing an optimum quality of life. The Governor's Office of Minority Affairs can be that vehicle for providing access for all Alabama minorities to the tools and services they need to be successful and happy in their endeavors. This is a major step for Governor Bentley and for this state. I am anxious to see what the future will hold as this new office leads the way in opening doors, serving all of the people of this great state. I also want to thank Governor for appointing Nichelle. Governor, I think that's a great reflection of sensitivity to the office itself, and you'll be commended of that. And I want to thank you on behalf of all the members of the Alabama Legislative Black Caucus for creating this office. You said you would do it. You kept your word and did it. I didn't doubt you wouldn't. I'm just glad you did it sooner than later, and we're very appreciative of it. And at this time, I will bring Representative Knight forward and as Vice Chair of the Alabama Legislative Black Caucus to make this remark.
Thank you, Governor. Governor Bentley, I too want to thank you for what you've done today. I think that this is a golden opportunity for the state as it relates to diversity. And under your leadership, especially with this position working directly under the governor's office, I'm sure that it will be successful. Alabama is a great state, and it takes great leadership to enhance the greatness that we already have. What we have here today is enhancing that greatness, because in order for us to survive, in order for us to stay competitive, we must be diverse. Not only is the state's changing, but the nation is changing as well, and we must respect diversity. So, Governor, I want to commend you for having the courage and the will to do this, because it's extremely important. When you look around the state of Alabama, you have a very diverse population. The more we work together, the more we come together, the better off all of us will be when it comes to state government and anything else. I often say, as a member of contract review, when contracts come through, and especially for positions like lawyers and physicians and things like that, many African Americans go to the same school that others go to. So why can't they have some of these contracts? So I think that this office will be able to monitor contracts, but along with that, also bring together across this state our historically black institutions, because that's a resource to help with what we're trying to do as it relates to diversity. And that means including everybody, not just black, not just Hispanic, but everybody, complete diversity across this state. And I think that that's the way to go. And I certainly, once again, want to thank Governor Bentley, because he's always been there. I remember, Governor, I have to remind you of this. As long as I've tried to get the sales tax off grocery, I remember that one time that you gave me that vote on removing that sales tax off grocery. Thank you. So I want to thank him once again and delighted to be here.
Also, Senator Ross is with us here today, and I've worked so closely with him on so many issues. I'd like for him to speak just very briefly, and I appreciate him being here with us today. Senator Ross.
Thank you, Governor, and of course we want to hear Ms. Nix, so I won't be long. Let me say, Governor, thank you for providing this wonderful opportunity for the state of Alabama, and I'm reminded of Dr. King when he wrote in his book, Why We Can't Wait, and he talked about time, and you can use your time to be constructive or destructive. And Governor, you've chosen to use your time to be constructive in appointing and this young lady to this awesome office that will do so much for the state of Alabama. And I just want to thank you as the Senate Minority Leader and on behalf of all of the citizens of the state of Alabama. Thank you. We appreciate it. God bless you.
And now let me introduce Nichelle Nix, and I am very excited that she is now a member of my cabinet and will head up this new office of Minority Affairs. And I truly believe it's a new day in Alabama, and I just appreciate her so much being willing to do this. Nichelle? Thank
you. Thank you. To Governor Bentley, Senator Smitherman, Representative Knight, Senator Ross, honorable members of the Black Caucus, to our women leaders of the legislature, to our distinguished guests. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to ensure that Alabamians of all backgrounds have a voice in shaping the future of our great state. I would also like to thank my husband, Leroy, for his love and for supporting me in everything that I do. To my wonderful parents, Ronnie and Teresa Williams, thank you for instilling in me and teaching me the value of faith, hard work, and perseverance, for your love and support, and for making me the woman that I am today. Thank you. There are a number of unique challenges facing women and minorities in Alabama. We, as a state, must do more to ensure fairness, equality, and inclusion, and to improve healthcare, education, employment, and economic opportunities so that, that would allow everyone to reach their full potential. I know we have a challenging road ahead of us, but it is clear that we are ready to make that road a path to a prosperous future for everyone, for all Alabamians. Governor Bentley has emphasized his deep commitment to improving the lives of women and minorities in Alabama, and I am resolute in my efforts to help the governor identify those policy solutions and ideas that will improve the lives and brighten the futures of all Alabamians. I look forward to partnering with our elected officials, our business and community leaders, and our citizens to do this important work. Together, we will lift every voice in the state of Alabama and move this state forward. Thank you again.
I'm going to go over and sign the executive order creating this office, and so I'd like to invite any of you that, Bo, I want you to come up here. I want you to be up here with us. Any members of the Black Caucus, any members of the Women's Caucus that I've created, if any of them are here. But we would like for y'all to come up and be around when I sign this. Taking pictures.
Right here. Right.
Y'all excited?